Check.
A 1, 2, 3, 4. A 1, 2, 3, 4. A 1, 2. Right, we're recording. This time it is Hacksaw Ridge.
Hacksaw Ridge.
Which has been out for quite some time.
Yeah, we're behind.
But we really wanted to see it. Mel Gibson's latest film.
It is the Jew-hating Mel Gibson.
Yeah, he's a special one.
What do we think?
Exactly.
I mean, that's what matters. What do we think? I want to know what you think.
What I thought. Well, I enjoy a good war film. War movies are like one of my favorite genres because they're the kind of ones that you know what to expect. It's very hard to find a really bad one. So the quality tends to be pretty good.
Sure.
There's a lot of effort put into making war films feel real.
Yeah. Especially because they're all kind of true to life anyway. They're kind of, it's easy to be like, fuck.
Yeah, I kind of knew what to expect going into this film. I knew it was going to be quite harrowing. This was a story that I was quite keen to see because of the fact that it was about America's first conscientious objector.
Yeah.
You're America's first conscientious objector. I think it should be known. I think anyone who's going in there should be told before going in there, expect to see some pretty messed up stuff. Yeah.
Obviously, though. I think most people would know that. A war film is a war film.
And it's not like Mel Gibson's been known to be quite graphic in his films. Yeah. This Apocalypto, which we have here.
Passion of the Christ is one of the most fucking torturous things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. And he does like to focus on people's pain and suffering quite a bit.
Fucking weird.
It was very stylish. He does know how to kind of build a pretty picture of someone burning. But I think the first thing to start off, I enjoy the film? Yeah, I did. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a moving tale of a pretty exceptional human being. I have to say.
Oh yeah.
Portrayed by Andrew Garfield, who does a really good job.
I thought I thought it was amazing. I thought it was almost like a perfect film, and the way that it was. The acting was incredible by everyone. I literally there wasn't a single moment I didn't like acting that was involved. Andrew Garfield, I find him also quite a plain actor, not like amazingly, but he's winning me over because he's just in so many good films, and this film was like shit. He did a really good job of just being like very believable, very watchable. He's never over the top of how he does his job. It's an emotional storyline. You connect to the characters as well as being fucking gruesome, fucking brutal. So it had both sides of that. It wasn't just like a blood fest, and it wasn't just like a sob story. It was a really good mix of those two things. For 2 hours, it went really quickly to me. Yeah. I think I was expecting a kind of. You know how these war movies often just go on and on and on. It did a good job of being like, here it is, and it was done. And it was like just none of my time felt wasted. Nothing.
I get like you say, I think the acting from everyone. Vince Vaughn was
so cool.
Oh, I love that guy.
Vince Vaughn.
He's brilliant.
Because I always just see him as this comedic kind of sidekick to Owen
Wilson.
Wilson.
He was really serious. You took him seriously, and you even you enjoyed seeing him more and more as the film progressed, which is what I really love. Yeah. I always have a gripe. And hear me out.
Yeah, no, I'm listening.
Especially with films about during the Second World War. Yeah. And I know, the whole stance between America and the axis of evil and everything like that. And so the portrayal of the enemy is always like they're brutal men with no sympathy whatsoever, they're like
soulless soldiers,
and they all deserve to die, and they should the body count should always be expressed when it comes to them. They all have to fucking die.
That's a good point. Yeah.
And I personally I've always disagreed with that. I've always disagreed with the fact that war is such a one-sided story, and it's very hard for me to fully fall in love with a film that that just casts, you know, the Americans as the good guys, and the Japanese is just like these shadows in the mist who every time you come across them is a fight. There's someone has to they have to die, you know, and
it's a very good point. You are right.
And I always feel uncomfortable in that sense because I feel that it doesn't do the conflict that justice. Yeah. It's a battle between humans, and these people, the men on the other side, they just as well don't want to be there. And here's the thing as well that gets me the most, especially about the war. I mean, Americans, with all the respect to those soldiers that, you know, sacrificed their lives for the good of their country. They were over there invading another land. They were the invaders. They were the ones. And these people that were there were fighting for their land. To protect their land because it was sacred and it was holy to them. Hey, Mel Gibson is a patriot. Everyone knows that. He's a devout Christian, and this film delivers on both sides.
Oh, it definitely does.
But I feel that we've as a society we have now progressed. We have now progressed to the state where, like, the person that I will sit there that will go watch it, he doesn't necessarily have to be English or American or Christian or any of the above. As a matter of fact, there's a big chance that he himself could be Japanese.
Yeah.
And the level of multiculturalism that we have nowadays in our society, films should take that step forward now and progress and just be a bit more.
I agree.
Bit more open to, like, you know, allow you to sympathise with the Japanese.
On a moral and political level, I agree with you, but on a filmmaking level, I think it worked to have these kind of. You were on the side of the Americans, and they made sure of it. And so there was no moral ambiguity when watching a film.
I think because of the director himself, really.
Yeah, if the Japanese made a film about that time, they would say, "Fuck, we were being attacked, and that was the enemy," because they were the enemy. They were enemies.
Yes,
this is an American film about an American hero.
I understand,
and I understand what you're saying as well.
But there are ways of serving both ends, making a person proud of their country and their history and their heritage and the victories that they've won and stuff at what they did, but also humanizing the opposition.
I agree.
And there are films that have done that
and
in a certain way.
Not every film should do that. It's nice to have films that don't do that.
No. You know, there's only snippets. There's only snippets. There was only, like, you know, a snippet of, like, you know, the suffering the Japanese people went. But overall, they were just out, they were like hitmen, like fucking killing every poor American who, at the end of the day, is on their land and invading their land and for whatever political reason, because the war against the Japanese as well wasn't as black and white as the war against Germany.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, and I do agree with a lot what you're saying, but there could be the aspect that this was this man's story. Maybe he's written a book, maybe it was based on interviews he did, and this literally was how he remembered it. So he was saying, you couldn't see the Japanese, we were being shot by the Japanese, they were cruel people, and maybe Mel Gibson actually wanted to maybe do truth to the story that was told by the hero of the story.
Like I said, we've moved forward, we're in, like, these pretty turbulent times now, where I feel like global unity is more important than any period of time that we've had. Like, and a film like that has some responsibility towards making us, like, you know, try and understand war in a more human way. The trailer,
do not watch the trailer. The trailer has so many of the good moments in it. It does spoil a lot of shit for it. I thought there were lots of things, even like a whole bunch at the beginning, where it's like, ooh, is it gonna, you're like, I know what happens. Yeah. You know what happens a lot of the film thanks to the fucking trailer.
This is the problem with, like, trailers nowadays.
Trailers are rubbish.
Is that they do tend to spoil a lot of, like,
I'm never gonna watch a trailer again. I'm never gonna watch a trailer again. I don't want to see it.
They're hard to avoid. To be honest, like, you know, the next Star Wars, there's certain trailers that you look forward to. Like, I will look forward. The next Star Wars trailer, I'm going to watch.
Don't watch it. Watch the fucking film. There's no point in watching trailers.
Yeah, but there are certain things that you just, like, want to see how it's going to look.
I don't want to watch a trailer ever again. I'm gonna purposely not see any of the trailers or films anymore.
That's absolutely fine.
It says on YouTube.
Just go watch
Coming up next, the trailer for Hacksaw Ridge. Cancel. But I've already said everything I want to say. I thought it was amazing. I loved it. I think a lot of what you said is actually very important and kind of swayed my mind. But honestly, dude, that film was way up there. I'm feeling 8.5. Yeah.
That is a really strong score.
Yeah, I was nearly even higher than that.
Yeah. I think, like I said, I mean, I'm not going to take anything away from the film because it was well shot. The sound was amazing, well directed, well acted, despite being too unbalanced, and everything I just said earlier about, like, you know, how I don't like the one-sided thing. So my score is a 7 out of 10.
Which is just tragically too low, in my opinion. When you say people should watch that.
Should watch what?
Should watch Hacksaw Ridge.
You should watch Hacksaw Ridge. If you haven't watched the trailer, do not watch the trailer.
Yeah, just
do yourself a favour. Watch the film as it is, because on its own, it is actually very emotional, and it.
Yeah, I nearly cried. I was a bit teary at the end. It hit me hard. I got a little.
Yeah, I mean, it was. It carries you such a long way, and you just kind of feel for the characters.
Oh man, it got me right in the feels.
Again, it just shows how, like, remarkably clever Mel Gibson is, and he is a talented, talented director.
He's proven it time and time again.
Yeah. So there you have it.
There you have it. That's all you need to know about the film, right there.
So thank you again.
Thank you
for
so
those
much
who
for
actually
watching.
have enjoyed watching us chat all this cack.
Yeah.
And yeah, hopefully next time we'll come with something more.
Something even better.
Yeah.